Virtuous women are not born, they are made. And today we're going to be talking about Lois and Eunice, because they were able to pass their faith from generation to generation. Lois passed it on to Eunice, Eunice passed it on to Timothy. And that's the same thing that we need to do today. You need to be passing your faith to your children. And how are we going to be able to pass our faith to our children? Is we need to be the real thing. Honestly, that is going to be the only way. You need to be the real thing, because if you're not the real thing, let's do an example. Let's pretend that in church you're the most charismatic person and you're shouting and you're jumping for joy, but you go home and you're always talking about the pastor, you're always talking about the ladies at the church, you're always talking bad about your neighbors, you're always in conflicts, you're always having road rage, you're always doing all these things, and your children are seeing you do this. Two things can happen. One, you're going to turn them away. You're going to turn them away and you're going to be like, well, if that's what it's like to be a Christian, no thanks. I don't want to be like that. Your kids are going to see, how you don't love, how your children are going to see how impatient you are with them and with most people. And they're going to be like, nah, I don't want that I don't want that if that's what Christianity is all about. And Christianity is not about that. But sometimes we give bad examples to our kids. So you might put them off. Or two, you might make them think that that's the right way to live. To be gossipers, to be slanderers, to be deceitful, to be liars. And there's people growing up, and because their mom was like the head of the choir, and because their dad, was a deacon, and but they're lying and they're cheaters and they're deceitful and they're slanderers and they're all these things. But the kids are like, well, we go to church every Sunday, we go to church every Wednesday, we go to prayer, we go to all the conventions, and so that means we are Christian, regardless if we don't ever take this word seriously and we don't try to change our character based on this word. It doesn't matter because I go to church. Then you're hurting your children that way too, because you know that the word says don't just be hearers of the word but doers of the word. Because people who just hear, the Bible says that you are falsely believing, that you're in the right path when you're actually just fooling yourself. So we need to be aware of that. If we want Christian kids and we want kids to be exemplary kids, we need to be a good example. If we want kids to walk with Jesus, we need to walk with Jesus. If we want kids, to go to church, we need to go to church. If we want kids to be respectful, we need to be respectful. It all starts with us. We need to be like Lois and Eunice and pass this real faith down to our kids. Nobody else is going to do it. We can't expect the Sunday school teachers to do it. We can't expect the VBS leaders to do it. We can't expect the children's church people to take care of it. Yeah, it helps. Yes, it's good. All that is great. I make sure that in our church we have all these things available because I think they're very important. But to be honest, you are the loudest and most important and most influential teacher that they will ever have, because they get to see you in your good times and they get to see you in your bad times. And believe it or not, they're paying attention. So how are you acting? How are you reacting? How are you talking? How are you living? What examples are you giving? What words are you using? What films are you watching? What TV shows are you watching? All that is influencing your kids. Take responsibility. That will make you a virtuous woman. God bless you.